Okay, just watching your second video, and you mentioned Hubble and Einstein. Einstein's theory did, in fact, predict an expanding or contracting universe, which he promptly fixed his theory of general relativity by adding a cosmological constant to his theory. And when Hubble showed Einstein that no, you're wrong, the universe is actually expanding, this little fix that Einstein put into his equations to keep the universe as a not expanding static entity, he then referred to the cosmological constant he added to the equation as the greatest blunder of his life, which is really a funny Einstein quote, particularly now because evidence is mounting that he was actually right in adding that cosmological constant, and Hubble's idea of Hubble's correlation between redshift and apparent magnitude or distance from us is not 100% accurate. There are other things that cause, there are definitely other things that cause redshift, unlike the things he was advocating. I mean, every redshift sorry, I'm just trying to say this one more time. Every time you see a redshift, it's only one component of that redshift may be due to its recessional velocity. So there's lots of examples of that out there. Lots of observations have been made. So yeah, the universe not necessarily expanding as Hubble put it. So I'll just watch the rest of your video and see how we go. Okay, yeah, talking about the Big Bang and its entrenchment in the scientific literature, and it's scientific fact now that the Big Bang occurred. Well, it's not all scientists believe that. I can assure you of that. I mean, and this most tested theory that you're going on about, it's definitely not the most tested scientific theory out there. It's actually pretty bad when it comes to predicting things, and has been fixed ad hoc many times. I mean, prime example of that is dark matter, followed closely by dark energy. Little ad hoc fixes like that, quickly destroying the reputation of the Big Bang. And I'm sure more ad hoc fixes are coming every year. So it's just interesting to hear you say that kind of Big Bang rhetoric and stuff. And I can tell you're going to go on now and say, so anyone that believes in science has to believe in the Big Bang. Well, that's just not true, because scientists can believe whatever they want. And to say you don't believe in science because you don't believe in the Big Bang is ridiculous, because science is exactly that right, to not believe in the Big Bang, to present other evidence, to look for other evidence, And if the Big Bang is slipping into dogma, as it may well be, well, that's a very sad state of affairs, and it needs to be corrected. Anyway, I'll watch more video and maybe make a few more comments. Okay, again here you quote Stephen Hawking as saying, almost everyone now believes that the Big Bang is scientific fact and rah rah rah. Well, it doesn't mean anything if most people believe it. And most people believe that in Genesis, for example, most people in America believe in Genesis, or I don't know if that's true or not, but most people believing in something does not make it right, or it does not mean you should just blindly follow it without thinking yourself. So quotes like that mean nothing in a talk, an honest talk about cosmology and philosophical things, or even so. It just doesn't warrant a place anywhere in discussion. It's a sociological fact. Most people believe this, most people believe that. It has nothing to do with what you should believe or how you should go about trying to believe in something. So anyway, it's just a nice comment there. Continue watching. Right, now you're going on about your rant about how can you disobey science? How can you not believe in science? How can you go against established science? And well, very easily. It's an encouraged thing to do. How can you go against modern science? Well, easily. I'll do it, no problems at all. As long as you've got your reasons and some evidence, or even a plan to try and find some evidence to find the truth one way or other, there's no problem going against modern science. You say this is a bad thing. If you're a Christian and you rebel against the Bible's teachings, that's bad. It's a bad thing to do. It's not a very Christian thing to do. Try and debunk the Bible. Well, it's a very scientific thing to do, to go against what is believed and accepted. Either will lead to more fundamental truth or a different, maybe more accurate model of something. So you can't throw that back in the scientist's face, because it's exactly what sets us apart, is our willingness to accept new ideas and be proven wrong. And the theists, or the fundamentalists and the dogmatic theists, that just will not be proven wrong, unless from a video from Mendham, a good quote, unless they get a signed letter from God telling them that, yes, it was just all a big story, sorry, that's the only way some of these fundamentalist theists are going to change their views, a signed letter from God. Okay, I like your little rant though, it's funny. I'll keep watching and comment as I will. Okay, it's a nice try with the entropy argument. You finish by saying, because the universe has not reached a heat-death equilibrium state, it could not have been here forever. Well, actually, one explanation for it not being now as an equilibrium state is the fact that it is boundless and eternal and forever. Okay, I'll elaborate on that. Sorry, you said it yourself. I've heard lots of definitions of the second law of thermodynamics, and that was a perfectly legitimate, fine one. But the problem is that it can only be applied to a closed system, and an infinite universe is not a closed system. I think you said by nature the universe is a closed system. Yeah, that is the Big Bang cosmological idea of the universe, is a closed system. Therefore you can apply the second law of thermodynamics to that system. But you can't use that to refute the idea that the universe is infinite, because if the universe is infinite and has been around for an infinite amount of time, it is the antithesis of a closed system. It's a very open system. And so you can't use the second law of thermodynamics there. Your coffee cup example would be like walking into the room, and okay, your room is a closed system, but let's try walking into a room where the walls are infinitely far away. That would be a situation where you can't. It's not a closed system. You can't apply the second law of thermodynamics to that system. So it's interesting. You try and use something only made to describe a closed system. You try and use that to describe something it wasn't designed to describe. It's not physics describing open systems. That's completely different. I mean, you can't use a tool for closed system physics you can't apply it to open systems. You can't do it. It's like using what's an analogy I could use here? Well, it's like trying to get by in Japan speaking French. It's not going to work. It's just not the way it's going to work. It's a wrong tool. Anyway, I'll keep watching, and it's interesting points, but I think I should summarize all my little refutations in my next little clip.